Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Paul Martinez. Martinez died on Thursday, May 24, 2007, after he was stabbed in the 200 block of East Avenue Q10 in Palmdale, according to LA County Coroner records. Eleazar Villegas was subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. On May 24, 2007, defendant, his brother Omar Villegas, and their friend Jay Mendoza were hanging out and listening to music. They were sitting in a white SUV parked behind a pawn shop near the intersection of East Palmdale Boulevard and 3rd Street in the city of Palmdale. Sometime around 1 a.m., Ms. Mendoza, who was seated in the back seat of the SUV, saw three people walking by about 30 to 40 feet away from where they were parked. After the three individuals walked past, Ms. Mendoza heard defendant and Omar talking about how they recognized one of the individuals as someone they knew and did not like called Penguin. The brothers also said that Penguin and his two friends would probably be coming back at some point. Eventually, Penguin and the two others did walk by again, and Ms. Mendoza thought she heard someone in Penguin's group say something in their direction, but she was not sure. Defendant and Omar then got out of the SUV and started running after the three individuals, and eventually they ran out of sight. Ms. Mendoza stayed in the SUV. About 5 minutes later, defendant and Omar came back. Neither of them would tell Ms. Mendoza anything. They drove off and went to their aunt's house and started watching television. At some point while they were watching television, defendant and Omar told Ms. Mendoza they had gotten into a fight with Penguin or had jumped him. Victim Paul Martinez was known by the nickname Penguin. Ms. Laura and Ms. Robles were the two friends with Mr. Martinez that night. Around 1 a.m., the three of them decided to walk to the 7-Eleven store on Palmdale Boulevard to buy some drinks. They were walking through a vacant lot near their apartment complex headed in the direction of the store, when Ms. Laura noticed the white Suburban parked near the back wall of some stores. There were two males standing outside the SUV. She, Mr. Martinez, and Ms. Robles continued walking to the store without incident and made their purchases. On their way back through the vacant lot, they passed by the white SUV again. This time, Ms. Laura heard one of the males ask if they knew where they could buy some weed. Ms. Robles believed someone said, "Where the bud at?" Ms. Robles may have responded with a quick no. Ms. Laura recognized the voice of the person who asked the question as that of defendant. She knew defendant and his family, having had problems with them in the past. Ms. Laura, Ms. Robles, and Mr. Martinez kept on walking. They got about 20 to 30 feet ahead of where defendant and Omar were standing by the SUV when Ms. Laura heard defendant yell, "What's up, Penguin?" Ms. Robles thought defendant yelled, "Hey, Penguin, you're a fucking rata." The three friends started walking faster in the direction of their apartment complex. They then heard the sound of running behind them, so they started to run. Mr. Martinez was faster and therefore was running ahead of Ms. Laura and Ms. Robles. Defendant and Omar ran past the young woman toward Mr. Martinez. Mr. Martinez tripped and fell to the ground, which allowed defendant and Omar to catch up to him. Defendant reached Mr. Martinez first. Before Mr. Martinez could get up, defendant was standing over him. Defendant made 3 to 4 downward stabbing motions with a knife that looked like some type of kitchen knife. The knife looked to be about 6 to 7 inches long. While defendant was making the stabbing motions, Omar kicked Mr. Martinez. Defendant and Omar then abruptly stopped their assault and started running back in the direction of the young woman. As they ran past, defendant slapped Ms. Robles on her buttocks and yelled out Palmas 13. Both Ms. Robles and Ms. Laura knew Palmas 13 to be a local street gang. Mr. Martinez was able to get up from the ground and made it to the driveway of his apartment complex where he collapsed. Ms. Robles felt blood on his back when she put her arms under him. Mr. Martinez told her, "They stabbed me." Ms. Laura started screaming for help and banging on doors asking someone to call 911. Sheriff deputies and an ambulance arrived and took Mr. Martinez to the hospital, where he eventually died from the multiple stab wounds he received. Trial by jury commenced in October 2011. Ms. Mendoza, Ms. Laura, and Ms. Robles testified to the events they witnessed on May 24, 2007. Ms. Laura and Ms. Robles also testified they did not originally implicate defendant and his brother as the perpetrators because they feared retaliation from defendant, the people he affiliated with, and the gang Palmas 13. A portion of defendant's recorded statement to the police describing the incident was played for the jury during the testimony of Detective Frank Salerno, the investigating homicide detective. In his statement, defendant admitted he stabbed Penguin several times in the back and side. Defendant explained that Penguin had been disrespecting his family for a long time. The prosecution also presented the expert testimony of Detective Tyrone Berry, a gang investigator for the LA County Sheriff's Department with almost 22 years' experience as a peace officer. Detective Berry testified that Palmas 13 is a documented criminal street gang that originated in Palmdale approximately 14 years ago. It is primarily a Hispanic gang with its territory in East Palmdale. Following the trial, defendant Eleazar Villegas was convicted by jury of 1 count of first-degree murder, including weapon and gang allegations. Defendant was sentenced to a term of 26 years to life in state prison. Paul Martinez was 22 years old at the time of death.